In June of 2012, our 19-year-old daughter was in a horrible automobile crash in Northern Bay County, and she was brought here. My wife and I were notified, and we met here. And as soon as we entered the emergency room, we were whisked back to the back, so we knew it couldn't be good.
Candy was a trauma nurse at Madison emergency room, and our daughter was not breathing on her own, and she was the first one that came and talked to us and told us step by step what was being done with our daughter. And Candy walked with us up to ICU when our daughter was taken to ICU and stayed with us most that night. And then probably the next person that really sticks out in our mind is Leanne. Leanne was her day nurse, tall, beautiful, blonde nurse that went out of her way to make sure that we were comfortable with everything that was being done to our daughter. There were times when Leanne cried, you know, and so we felt like our daughter wasn't just someone laying there, you know. Leanne cried. The trauma doctor up there cried. I mean, and you know, I know that they've been doing this for years, but this was our daughter, and they're crying over our daughter that they hadn't, you know, that they've just known not even a day or two. We were able to spend time with our daughter because the moment she came here, I feel like in the emergency room, you all took good care of her, took outstanding care of her the whole time she was in the ICU. Even though they knew that Madison wasn't going to recover, they would tell her, I'm going to swab your mouth out now, you know, or I'm going to take blood now. They talked to her as though she was right there with us, you know. She was 19 years old. She was having the time of her life. Very much loved by friends and family. I think what helped us the most was she was in ICU, and I understand if circumstances had been different. If she had been expected to recover, we would have to stick to the 2 or 3 person rule. But the people in ICU, the nurses, the doctors, everyone in ICU bent that rule a little. And we had many students, many friends, many family that were in the room together, and they were allowed to say goodbye. One of her friends sang a song to her and played a little portable keyboard. And there were many students there and friends there that it was saying goodbye. We were able to love her and hold her hand and laugh with her and cry, and all of her friends and family, and we were able to say goodbye. And so that gives us great comfort. When our daughter went to kindergarten, she didn't want to go to kindergarten, and I traced my hand and put it in her pocket and told her just to take my hand. And so they said, do you mind if we trace your daughter's hand? And of course I don't. So I have 4 pages of my daughter's hand that they traced for me. It meant the world to me.
It did. She was genuinely kind to everyone. I think that's one of the common themes that we heard from most all the people that were here to see her, that she was genuinely kind to everyone, always happy.
Her smile, she had the most beautiful smile in the world if many organs were transplanted. And I wish that we could have transplanted that smile, but I know that I know that the organ recipients that have received her organs also have received that smile. That smile her smile and her laughter were contagious, truly contagious.
And knowing that the people that she has helped will have an extended life now is very comforting. Jody has mentioned several times, imagine getting the phone call or the beeper, I don't know how they're notified now, that we have an organ for you. Imagine how happy those people would be and their families. And we received a letter a couple of days ago, no specific information, but a little more information about where her organs, some of her organs had gone. And it's just good to know that there are people who now can continue.
The impact she'll have on their families
Right.
for generations.
And I think our daughter would have it no other way.
Ever since she was little, she wanted to be on the color guard. And the color guard, you know, at halftime would go out and do their show. And when they weren't out performing, they had to sit in the stands, and they had to sit up and, you know, not wave at anybody and not really talk to anybody. And Madison looked down, and the cheerleaders were down there having a great time. I mean, they were down there yelling and hollering and having a wonderful time. And it's almost like she woke up one day and said, I want to be a cheerleader. So she worked really hard. She had some really great friends that helped her out and showed her what to do and tried out. And so her junior and senior year, she was a cheerleader and had a blast.
She did.
She had
really
a
good time.
blast. She had a good time. And there were some stories that those girls can tell, but the main thing is she always made them laugh.
She never wanted anyone to feel left out or to be sad.
She was an amazing person, and we knew that. We just didn't realize the impact that she was going to have on this community. She lived life to the fullest. We were blessed, very blessed. You know, you have the typical mother-daughter arguments, and you know, and Dad, you're never going to let me grow up type arguments. But she was never really in major trouble. You know, typical teenage stuff. But she was a good, genuine, good person. We're very proud of her.
Yeah, we are.
After the hospital, of course, you're faced with many bills, and we were put in touch with a woman named Sheila. We've met with her a couple of times, and she's taken care of all the paperwork for us, and that has been a relief, something that we have not had to think about. That's been a relief.
You know, it's just something else that the hospital is doing for us. You know, it's just, and it's ongoing. You know, it's just,
It's ongoing.
we just can't speak highly enough and say enough of our experiences here. We just really can't. It was a very comfortable feeling around everyone that we were associated with here.